Ooh, I'm live, huh? Okay. All right. I guess we're live, I think. Oh my God, come on now. Come on now. Necklaces. Oh, cameraman's back. Cameraman is back. Oh my God. We're doing the bang thing's happening again. This was the point of getting the bangs cut. Like, I'm about to go back to that woman. I'm gonna tell her, fucking bitch, if you don't cut these right. So you know this is not a kid-friendly stream. I'm a swearer. If you have kids you don't want to hear swearing, do not have them on this stream. Okay. Let's get into it though, right? Okay. Let's see. I want to say hi to everyone in the chat. Joanna, Victor, Holland, Sass. Always a pleasure to see you guys. Anyone else that's back there lurking or coming on in? So let's see. Where do I even begin? I'm like all over the place today. My energy has just been, I've been buzzing, just buzzing all week in this happy, excited feeling state. So much excitement. So I do have some updates on the return of David Wilcock. Okay. And he came to visit me again. I mean, I told you guys last week all the stuff that happened and how I proposed a soul merger with him, considering they were fracturing his soul. Pretty sure it happened because of a combination of things, but also I think that that's kind of what can happen when you take your own life. So that's I have some thoughts on it though. I'm gonna expand on this because intuitively, energetically, I think this was kind of a much bigger deal than what I realized when I first proposed it, when it first even came to me, the ideal came to me. And I told you guys last week that after communicating with David for quite a long time, day after day, night after night, that the last dream that I had of him, I actually had his eyes merged into my hand. Okay, we talked about that. So I had his eyes merged into my hand. And as you know, dreams are very significant and symbolic for me. And so, oh, hi there, Jason. Good to see you. And so I hadn't heard from him after that. I told you guys, I was talking to him all this time. We were spending like all this connecting time. I was connecting with him and then nothing. You know, it was like, okay, I merged, like he merged. He was in my hand. His eyes were in my hand. And then I didn't hear from him for a couple days, like 3 days, right? Like 3 days. And he comes back after 3 days, like motherfucking Jesus over here, fucking rising from the dead 3 days later, bust up into my freaking energetic space, bring in the frequency of whatever higher realm he is on with him. And it was absolutely exquisite. It was wonderful. It was a great feeling. And I kind of held back on some of the messages that I got from him out of respect, first of all, because I wanted to celebrate the good things that he brought to the planet before I started to get into the mistakes he made, the places that he failed, which is a lot of, like I said, this is a lot of the stuff that me and him communicated about when I wasn't in contact and channeling him. And also, I want to say a big thank you and a shout out to one of my followers that I don't know if she'll make it in here for the live, but I'm sure she'll catch this on the replay at some point. But Queen Victor, she actually in my comment section of the last video wrote me and suggested that, because I was saying how I wanted to know about David Wilcock's chart. Okay. And I wanted to know about his astrology. And I just felt like there was something going on there. Was there some type of astrological alignment that allowed for the darkness to really like overtake him and force him and push him to his breaking point? And so she suggested, Queen Victor suggested that I watch this astrologer that she follows named Robert. I cannot remember his last name right now for the life of me, and I apologize for that. But it is in the comment section of my last video if you're very interested in it. So let me tell you, I decided, I'm going to go, and I listened to his breakdown analysis of David's natal chart and death chart. And it was literally, it confirmed like everything. It confirmed like everything. I was like, holy moly. Like, wow. Like, not only did I get confirmations of all the things that I'd been he'd been sharing with me about what his experience was like, because that's really what a merger is all about. It's about sharing the experience, so to speak. It is the deal with God, so to speak, as Kate Bush would put it, right? And so I'd also had a confirmation that one of the songs that Spirit gave me for him, which was the stroke song Soma, specifically the ending version, the ending part lyrics of the song, was talking about how basically someone they tried something and they got addicted to it, and they were doing it for 25 years, and then their friends just kept piling on and asking more and more and more and more from him, and they were done, and that's it. Okay, that was the song. That was the part of the song that I was like, okay, well, how do I verify this though? Well, we got our confirmation because we had someone who knew him that was in our last chat, and she actually, me and her, we talked, and apparently what he had been addicted to, and this was also confirmed like in his chart and through the person who was doing the reading, who apparently knew a lot of him, that he was addicted to weed. She said that too. Aurora said that. And I was like, addicted to weed. You hear people say that and you're like, I don't know, people don't really take that seriously. But apparently he was like next level with this THC addiction. And it had been going on for almost 25 years. And on top of it, I do think that he had people that were just asking him for more and more and more until it pushed him to his breaking point. Okay. So some of the things, and I'll just tell you this. So like the thing I feel like people kind of want to know, which I feel like is very easy for people to tap into at this point, especially if you're part of the collective that I asked to do the soul merger with, which here's and I need to make sure I don't forget to get to that point of what is that all really about. Now, obviously we don't have any like textbooks that talk about this type of stuff. And I'm going strictly off of my own intuitive beliefs, because I trust myself, and I've had enough confirmations at this point that I really do trust myself on this stuff. But basically, the last moments that he had, or the last day, the last couple of hours, whatever you want to say, there'd been a buildup of pressure, and that pressure was that he was coming to the realization of how much he got wrong and how led astray he was, and how, because he was led astray, he led all his followers astray too, because of his pride and his ego, and him being unwilling to face the fact that he got so much wrong and that he had been gullible and had been taken advantage of. Also, his chart did basically say too that his wife, okay, that which I harped on about, was basically taking advantage of him and riding the coattails of his success so that she could make a name for herself. That's literally what his birth chart said and talked about, or his chart as he was progressing it. I can't remember. I wasn't watching the screen as he was talking about it, but he basically said like, yeah, this is what this shows. And I was like, I fucking knew it. I freaking knew it. That chick, and the astrologer was basically saying, like, according to David's chart, that if he was going to have a successful marriage, that he needed to wait till his second Saturn return or whatnot, and that he kind of jumped the gun on that, and it was pretty much doomed to fail from the beginning, which again, I agree with this. I agree with this 100%. And so I felt it like an absolute punch to the gut when it hit him, that, because I don't know if anyone else remembers this, but he had this dream that he shared one time, and it was a dream about him and Trump. And David said the dream, and I hope I'm doing this justice, because I'm only going based on my memory, but it stuck out to me. Dreams, certain things, I latch onto them and I don't forget, because it becomes meaningful to me. And I held on to this too, because I was one of those followers of his that he misled, right? I was one of the followers. I was one of those. And so he had this dream where he was riding in a truck with Trump, and they were getting ready to go over a cliff. And David was like, "What are you doing? Like, stop," And Trump was like, "Just trust me." And they drove off the cliff, and they managed to land on some ground lower down after that, and everything was okay. And so that was part of David's belief that, no, if we just keep pushing forward, if I just stay with this course, the dream is telling me we're going to be okay. And maybe at that point, and maybe for what it's worth, maybe it did mean that at the time, because I certainly don't believe that we're dealing with the same Donald Trump that we did when Q was a thing, when, the plan to save the world, which I know a lot, like there are people out there that never bought into that from the beginning. But for a lot of us, it gave us hope that there was, not only could we handle knowing the truth of how dark the world is, but that there was something coming to help us, and that we would manage to get through this together, humanity. And so now we come to the crossroads where we can see, I hope at this point, that people can see that the plan, white hats, dark hats, Trump doing 5D chess, that we've all been had at this point. And I'm sorry to disappoint people if there's anyone that does follow me and felt that we were in alignment in this way, that because I voted for Trump, I supported Trump. I absolutely thought he was hilarious. I loved his vibrato. I loved how he trolled people, and now it's like, I kind of understand where the people who didn't like him are coming from, because now I'm like, this motherfucker, like this guy just betraying the entire American population, basically, to do what he is doing. And what a disappointment. You know what I'm saying? And so this was the punch to the gut that happened. I felt like part of it that happened for David when he was getting ready to depart this world, that it all piled on top of him at once. It's like, okay, nope, that's not going through. So all these other points, where have I been taken advantage of? It's like, oh, here, and all these friends of mine, these people that I trusted were inside sources that were lying to me, and I believed it, and then I brought that to the people who loved and cared about me, and he brought hope to people. Don't you understand? Like, that is the most powerful thing that you can take to that you can give to a person, is hope. They did those studies where they proved that the ideal of hope will keep a rat that's drowning in water swimming like 4 times longer than it would if it didn't think it had the hope. So how they would do that was they would give the rat a little bit of a break intermittently, and see if that would impact the rat's desire to keep swimming past the point of exhaustion, the point of drowning. If they had that hope that they were going to get that relief, they would push 4 times as hard, And so now here we are, knowing what we know about Epstein and Q and the White Hats and Trump and all that, all those key trigger words, 17, Q plus, where we go, when we go all, I was part of it. I will not hide that. I was totally down with that. And I was so grateful to the entire cause and the community that it brought together. And now it's time for us to change and grow and adapt, or we end up like David, which was not, anyone who had clear eyes to see the truth could see that he'd become a joke at this point. He'd become a joke. And as much as I even still, I always thought he was harmless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always cared for him. I had much love for David. But, even I made a meme after he came out claiming to be Archangel Michael, the one meme that he mentioned to me that he actually got shown by the mutual friend of ours. And it was a picture of him on the face of Archangel Michael. And it said something along the lines of, Archangel Michael says use discernment, or something like that. It was like Archangel Michael wants you to practice discernment. It says always use discernment, or something like that. Because obviously the point of the joke is If you're claiming to be Archangel Michael, then clearly your discernment is off. Clearly your discernment is off. Because Edgar Casey I can get behind, but Archangel Michael guy, come on now. Like, come on now. And he sees that now, that he was fucked with, you know? And he let his own narcissistic tendencies take over. And not only that, but he's a really good example. He's a prime example of what happens when you get stuck in an echo chamber. This is the problem. He got stuck in an echo chamber through Gaia, basically. Okay, which, believe what you want to believe about Gaia. I don't really have any real opinions on it, whether they were good or bad. I'm sure they're, not great, considering what we know about anything that's allowed to succeed out there in the world, right? But yeah, with the whole Gaia thing, they really kept him very sheltered. From what I've discovered, they kept him very sheltered. He didn't really get much pushback when it came to criticism in his inner circle. People wanted to please him. He was very charming. And that is the energy, I will say, that came through on Monday, because it came through. I'm not joking. He came in like a fucking rock star. This guy definitely had rock star energy, spiritual rock star energy, and he was living that rock star life. And because of that, he was basically surrounded by people who wouldn't tell him the truth, and wouldn't tell him, and wouldn't push back on his belief system hard enough so that it could collapse and he could have the possibility of evolving and growing and changing his belief system. That is the problem. When we allow ourselves to form these beliefs as conspiracy theorists, okay, which I don't think is a bad term. Obviously, we all know that it was a made-up term just to make us seem crazy. So, sorry, I'm getting a little thrown off here for a second. But this is the dangers of it, okay? When we have all these, we don't know what's real anymore, and then we all buy into this one belief system, which was like trust the plan and the white hats and 5D chess and stuff like that. And there are people out there who still believe this, like with all their heart, even with all their contrary evidence to prove and show that, wait, actually, if that was something that was happening, it's not happening anymore. Like, whatever, like maybe there is something else going on, but it's not happening. Like the 10 days of darkness, that were coming. Like, I'm so tired of, like, I literally, like, I believe so much in this stuff that I literally remember one time, him and this other real popular person that was big at the time, they were saying like, oh, the 10 days of darkness is coming, prepare now. I convinced one of my other girlfriends that I had at the time, like, we need to make sure we have cash on hand and all this type of stuff. And like, she trusted and believed in me, and she went out and they evacuated their bank account of cash and held on to their cash because they thought that this was going to happen, and I did too. I got out some money, but I didn't empty my bank account for cash. But it just shows you like how much influence he had on people and on the community, because they give us truth mixed with lies. They give us truth. It's like we have to and then we have to practice our discernment and figuring out, okay, well, what's true and what's not, which part of it is real and which part of it isn't, because there's just so much, there's just so much. And so, okay, let me see if I can get back on track here to what he wanted to say. He mainly, I feel like, with the soul merger happening, okay, because it happened. I felt it. It was like an explosion type of thing feeling inside me. I don't know how else to explain it than that, guys. But it happened. And I'm like, okay, this is what's going on now. This is what we're doing now. And it was like, wow, like you're really like in a higher frequency, because I can feel it, because it's taking me to that frequency. And I've just been riding that wave since. And the song that came through for me this week from Spirit was this song called Space Dementia by Muse, because, Muse is one of my favorite artists. Okay. And so that's basically the message spiritually that he was giving me through song, was like, it's time to break everything apart. It's time to tear it all down. You know, that's where it was. Time to tear it down. It's time to tear down the tower of beliefs that are not true, that are not real. We have to figure out what those are. And we have to tear them down. And we have to be willing to push back, because that's the thing. David didn't get any pushback. He never had his beliefs truly challenged. He didn't. Not himself, anyway. He didn't have to deal with that. And if he did, he didn't know how to handle it. Like, he didn't develop any kind of thick skin whatsoever to deal with criticism, you know, which sadly for him worked against him. It worked not in his favor, so to speak, let's say. Because when it came down for him to be able to confront that and have a rebirth of sorts, because apparently it was the planet Pluto. There was like 5 different planets in his death chart that came through and rocked his world all at once, basically, and exposed all of the things that he had been hiding from himself. And it was too much for him to bear. And so therefore he chose to leave, on top of, like I said, the interference and having the haters open hate portals towards him, you know, and the government doing whatever it is that they were doing to him. And because he did have a light soul, that's why he was working for service to others. He was. And if he had been able to turn it around, it's like another little bit, and have your opinions as you want to about Charlie Kirk, but it was like another Charlie Kirk, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have control of a movement. They're the leaders and the heads of a movement, and that's a very powerful thing to have. You know, and if he had come to the conclusions and been true and honest with himself about what he got wrong, we would have loved him still. You know what I'm saying? We would have loved him still if he would have come out. In fact, I think we probably would have loved him more. You know, and had more, I would have had more respect for him as a man, you know, and as a spirit that is working for good on the planet. But he couldn't do that. And so now I feel like the purpose of the soul merger was not just to share the experience, okay, of his life and what he got to feel and all of those things. But it was also, I was asking, because I think a soul fracturing was a very serious thing. And I think that the Dark Ones thought they were going to take him, quite honestly, especially in comparing my notes with Sloan Bella, the other psychic channeler that I follow, and how she basically confirmed the soul fracturing part of it, which was what I saw when I saw his picture and all the parts of him that were shaking. And so that was when I came up with the idea. Like, I was like, you know, we need a soul merge. You know, we need a soul merge with my collective, because someone was going to take that energy. The Dark Ones wanted to take that energy off the planet, and I don't think we allowed that to happen. And so now, through the pieces of his fragmented soul that we're carrying through to the end of our life, when we all leave, eventually, all the people that are carrying it, it's like we're going to finish out the pieces of his mission that he couldn't, that he didn't, that he sacrificed and gave up because he couldn't take the heat. So he got out of the kitchen, so to speak. You know, and so I feel like the point of what he wants us to do now is to be willing to admit where we got things wrong, to be willing to really fight for that truth now, and to try and bring hope to people in a new and better way. Okay, this is what I feel about this subject, is that we're here to really call out the people who are still trying to lead us down those roads. And personally, I am ready for it. I am ready. Like, I want a community. I want humanity to build its belief system, its own tower, built on truth and justice and fairness and stability. And that can't happen when it has all these pieces of itself that are just wiggly and can't, like, the slightest touch and they'll knock over. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. The tower, the stones of it are our beliefs. And when you challenge that, when the tower moment comes and the lightning strikes, if that belief system isn't strong and hasn't been challenged and hasn't been toughened up, kind of like a samurai sword too. You know what I'm saying? A samurai sword, they fold over the blade over and over and over again as they're tempering it, right? And the more they fold it, the stronger it gets. And that's kind of what needs to happen with our belief system, is that we have to challenge ourselves We have to go to those places, and we have to be willing to really take a look at what our own beliefs are and how strong are those beliefs, and like how do we have those beliefs justified and supported. Because there were a lot of things he got right. There's a lot of beauty that David brought into the world, like the unified consciousness, geometric patterns and stuff of the universe. In fact, that was one of the first things he actually showed me, which I forgot to share last week, which is this beautiful personal message for me. He's shared personal things for me that he could see me from the other side. And, a lot of times spirits that I connect with, they like to show me what it is that I look like to them from the other side. And they always have shown me the same thing for the most part, which was the brightest blue star that you could imagine. Like, they're like, that's what you are. They're like, you're a star. Like, that's right. I'm the blue Kachina, so David showed me my tower, because I told you guys, like, I've built an astral tower, where I've decorated it. It's a place I like to go and visit and dance and sing my songs in my head when I'm driving or whatever, do my alchemy. And he showed me what it looked like to him. And it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And I'll tell you, I'll try my best to describe what it looked like, because it was a hard picture. He said, like, I can't even see it with my, I can't even really truly imagine the true beauty of it, basically. And so they showed me, it looked like a kaleidoscope, almost like I was looking through a kaleidoscope, and the tower looked like it was just, there were jewels, like reflective jewels, pieces of mirror. It reminded me of like Turkish style type of mosaic, the temples in there. Like, I hope that you guys know what I'm talking about. Like all the different mosaics inside like a cathedral type place or whatever. And it's just all glittering all over the place. And it was blues and silvers and just diamonds. And it was like just all in gold. And he showed that to me. He was like, that's what you look like when I come to see you. And it was just such a meaningful message. And I'm grateful for it. And so I just want you all to know, it's like, I'm not the only one that has this ability. If anyone has watched the telepathy tapes, okay. And I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to the chat. Hi, everyone that has shown up. I see some people. I see Julian. I see Jason. Good to see you. Anchor Haven. Sorry I haven't gotten back to you yet, Anchor Haven. I will. I promise I will. I promise. And I do want to do a show with you. So I'm sorry. I know it's been a minute. I'm terrible with messages. Okay. So yeah. So to get back to the matter at hand here. So the other thing that I left out last week, because I was unsure how to take it, and so I kind of held back a little bit, was the words that they gave me. I only told you one of the words that they gave me, because at the time I'd forgotten about it. And for two, I hadn't fully digested in me yet exactly what those words were for, what they meant. And now I realize what it was. It was a spell. It's a spell that they're asking to be cast. Okay. And so the words were diaspora. And so I told you guys that part, diaspora, but they said two words. They said diaspora zealots, diaspora zealots. So I kept saying this, diaspora zealots. And then on top of it, we did our fortune cookie poll. And for the fortune cookie for David's message, we got an opportunity will present itself to you in April, which I just think is just way too coincidental, considering April is the opportunity that I got to propose merging with David Wilcock's fragmented soul in with me and my collective, because someone was going to take it. And I think the dark ones thought they were going to be able to do it, but I got there first. Or I was the stronger willpower. I don't know which, but either way, we're the ones that got it. So we're the ones that got it. And so I think now I want you guys to take the words that I just gave you, and I just want you to harness and hone your attention, your heart's intentions on the words, because words are spells. and we are creator beings, and we're powerful, and we're manifestors. Okay. And so the spell that we need to cast now is diaspora zealots. Because what is a zealot? A zealot is someone is so firm in their convictions. They're so firm in their belief system. They're unbending when it comes to their religious, their political, there's maybe even their spiritual beliefs, and that was what basically got David to fall, was the fact that he was unwilling to bend, and he was unwilling to grow and change and own up to the things that he had gotten wrong. He just couldn't do it. And so now I want those words to be sent out into the consciousness field here, the unified field, because we need people to stop being so hard-headed when it comes to admitting, hey, we got things wrong. Because I know, first and foremost, in this community, there is a large group of people in this community, a lot of big names and everything, that are holding on to all of these beliefs that they're sharing, whether it be about Trump, whether it be about the white hats or the Klan. And I'm going to keep, those are the main things that I see, are here, it's like those people, that needs to fucking stop. And I'm asking for Spirit to help us to expose that to them, to give them an opportunity before I decide to come after it. Because that is the place where I'm at this point in the juncture, okay, in the game. I am ready to take some people down, and if they're not willing to change, and they're going to keep misleading people and giving them false hope about things that are clearly not happening, or clearly, if they are happening, you can't accept that these things are happening behind the scenes, but then I'll allow all the other things, be like excusing. I'm sorry, the fake assassination attempts, I'm not excusing that anymore. The ballroom, all the never Trumpers turning into Trumpers, we can't just ignore that. It's time for us to get real with ourselves. There's a lot. There's a lot, and I'm ready for it. And I'm ready to call some things out. I'm ready to have us all grow. Either we grow, or you either grow or you die, right? That's really what it comes down to. And that is, that was the fundamental choice that David Wilcock himself had before he left this earth. Okay. Was either grow or die. And he chose not to grow. So yeah, diaspora zealots. And I think they know who they are. You know what I'm saying? I think there are certain people out there that they just, I don't know, I think they know what they're doing. And I think it needs to stop. I know I'm being vague and cryptic a little bit when it comes to this stuff, but I'm just know I am taking notes, and I am piecing things together, and it might take me a little while, but I'm certainly, it's like now that all this stuff has happened, I kind of have David Wilcock on speed dial, almost, when it comes to spirit communication, speed dial. Okay, what are we doing? How can you help me with this, or whatever? And Geraldine too, I just been thinking about her, cried about her this morning again. I can't believe I'm never going to see her name in my chat again. And prayers for her again, once more. Okay, so I'm trying to think of anything else I want to say, because I really didn't plan on staying long today, because I don't have one of my shows or anything to go over with you guys. But I have one that is set in the lineup, let's just say. I think we're going to go over the second season of Fiona and Cake. I'm not sure that it is the one that I've been leaning more towards, but I'm not sure. I have to go with wherever my heart leads me, because I kind of also want to do Black Mirror, I kind of want to talk about Black Mirror episodes, some of them, because I feel like they're just so relevant today for what's going on with technology and everything. And I think it'd be really good for us to look at some of those. So I do plan on going over some of those, some of those episodes. Sorry, I just saw. Yeah. I know. Stargate's another one. You know what I'm saying? Stargate is another one. That show. I have to wait for spirit to guide me and tell me when. I always know when because I'm a responding generator according to my human design. And when the feeling comes into me, I know. And then I go and I do the thing. But I have to wait until that time. If I push myself before I'm ready, it just never works out well. So. Oh, yeah. So diaspora zealots, remember, hold on to that. That is the spell that we are casting now. We are going to disperse all the people that are unwilling to change. And I get a feeling that it's most people that we're just seeing the same names over and over and over again. Just, yeah. I'm holding back yet. I'm holding back. I'm not saying any names right now. I'm not going down that road yet. I know there was something else I wanted to say, though. I know there was something else that I wanted to mention. I'm trying to just bring it back because there was so much. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole week has just been a buzz for me. Oh, yeah. There it is. The AI data centers. What's going on? What's going on there with the AI data centers, right? Like this is really getting everyone in a kerfluffle. I don't know why that's the word that came up, but the data centers really have me pissed off. And I don't know if it's on purpose, like the whole, it's a distraction. Everything's a fucking distraction, right? But no, I feel like this is a real threat. I feel like this data center thing is a real threat to the planet itself, because it feels to me like what they're doing is the same thing that they want to do to humans. And I think they're doing it with the planet because the planet is a being. It's a living being. And so what are they doing? They are literally implanting giant pieces of technology into her. And I just don't understand at this point how we're not banding together because that's the thing. This is why David ended up being dangerous in the long run. And his message was dangerous. This is where the zealotry, if that's a word, comes in. It's because, people don't want to have to actually think that they're going to have to do anything themselves. And I'm right there along with you guys. Like, who wants to get out of their routine? It's like, how much do we have to take before some people rise up, some groups come together and put a stop to it and say no, because we are bigger. There's more of us than there are of those. It's basically the super rich against the not rich. It's like what it's come down to at this point. And so I just don't understand how we can't find a way to pull together. And I'm talking straight up, because obviously going to these council meetings, I've seen council meetings where the people are standing up for themselves and saying, we do not want this. We do not want a data center in our area. We don't want our waters poisoned. We don't want constant light pollution, constant noise pollution. There was a study done when I was a midwife. I read this study where they proved that women who were pregnant that lived closer to airports where the air traffic noise was more prevalent, their babies were actually born smaller and less healthy than the babies that weren't in those types of areas. So this really does affect our health. Just even noise pollution in itself affects the health of growing babies inside of a mother. So like the fact that they're just wanting to put these data, like as if AI is just the end all be all of like what humans can achieve. It's just such bullshit. And I'm sorry, but the pyro in me is like, let's fucking burn them down. Why are we not doing that? Why are we not gathering together and planning to go after these places. I don't know. Would that be too much of a problem? Is that going to hurt the planet more than what they're doing with letting them run? I'm not saying that I would do it myself. I'm not saying like that I would join a group that would be interested in doing something like that. Oh, sorry, my eye. Something's in my eye. I'm not, but I'm ready for some shit to kick off when it comes to this stuff, because this is the planet I'm leaving 6 children behind on. And I'm just so fucking done with it. I'm so done with this AI stuff. I really try to interact with it as little as possible, even though they force us to interact with it. When you Google anything, it forces us, right? Hold on. Well, I gotta see what is it. Hold on. Oh, we could turn the water off. Okay. So they can't cool them down, and then the AI system itself would overheat and malfunction. Yes, I like this idea. So the other idea I had, which I'm just out here to put this stuff out here because, thoughts are things, we're powerful beings, we're all connected. And so I'm just like, like mentally, we all need to get on board here, and we need to mentally somehow connect with our intentions to people who have access to those places, who have access to the knowledge of how it is that we could take those things down in an easy manner, and then praying for God and putting it out there that we inspire the people that are capable of doing that to do it. Okay? Like, are you catching me? Are you following me? All right, like we can do that. We can start doing that. Just our thoughts alone can start to influence each other to where it's like, no, enough is enough. We are literally paying to live on a planet that we were born on for free. What is even happening here? Okay, what is even happening here? It's about to get real hot though, guys. It's about, and I'm not just talking about because I want to burn these fucking AI data centers down, but they're turning up the fire. Yeah, they definitely are. It's getting more intense. This is definitely the end times that we've all been waiting for to learn and grow from. And I think the biggest ways that it's going to help us learn and grow is to teach us what's really important, what really matters, and how far we've gone off course with that, with our connections to each other. Humans were not meant to function like this. And so here's the other thing that I'm thinking of, okay, because clearly they think that, according to Elon Musk, we're summoning demons through AI, right? And then what if not just what if it is demons that are being summoned, but it's almost like, what if the AI itself, okay, is giving way for non-physical entities of any nature, maybe not even just demonic, of any nature, to work through it and to experience life in whatever form or capacity that it can through AI robotics and stuff like that. Like, they want us to be as robotic and controllable as possible. And we have to stop that. This cannot keep going forward this way, guys. Like, have we not watched Terminator? Have we forgotten? We need to go back and rewatch some of the old school good movies about this stuff and remember the road that it will take us down, because it could take us down that road. No fate but what we create, as Sarah Connor would say. No fate but what we could create. I know. Be careful what I say. Listen, this is for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly, maybe, perhaps. I know, because we're going into a surveillance state. And I thought about that before I even came on the stream about what I wanted to say. And I was thinking, I was like, this is recorded. This is going to get monitored by an AI. They're going to get transcribed by an AI. They're going to be, this could, if they wanted in the future, if this goes really sideways real quick, then absolutely I could be, this could put me into a dangerous place, even saying these things. But at the same time, I don't want to be afraid to say them. I feel like someone's got to be brave enough to speak up and say this first. Someone's got to start, and I'm not the first, obviously, but someone's got to be brave enough to start thinking these things and putting these things out there. Because again, this is our home. This is our home right now while we're in these physical human bodies. And we need to take care of it better than what we have been taking care of it. You know, and I'm ready for those changes. I'm ready for those changes to be made. Yes, I agree with you there. What's that name there? Oh, I need my double glasses. Hold on a sec, guys. Sorry. I can't really read that chat anymore. I need to go and get my bifocals. Let's go ahead. It was very hard. It's very hard. Okay. There we go. Okay. X Streak. Very nice. Like that name. Yeah. Can't be afraid just because Charlie Kirk died. Exactly. Like I refuse to not speak up. Oh, you're Nima. You keep changing your name on me. How am I ever supposed to keep track of who you are? Oh, Chris, you know I'm AI. In fact, yes, I'm AI promoting my own self-deletion. Yeah, for sure. Let's destroy the data centers that fucking make me exist, right? Good to see you, Crispy Knee, by the way. Oh, yeah. So it's been quite the week. I'm just getting amped up, man. I just feel like this buzz. I just feel like this, like, oh, I'm just ready. I can feel the changes happening, and I don't know. It's almost like there's real potential for some big shifts to happen right now. And so therefore it's like watching that. I don't know how else to describe it than that. It's like there's these big shifts there's potential for these really huge big shifts. And I hope that I get to see I get to witness it. I get to be a part of it, you know. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. Please don't take me out like Charlie Kirk. Please. Okay. Yeah. To all those who want to believe that that all these people are still alive, I need to just keep these on, I guess, if I'm gonna read it. Sorry, I got doesn't look that bad though, right? Doesn't look that bad. 2 glasses. I mean, they're both sharp frames, so I'm not gonna be able to read the fucking comments if I don't have these on. Okay. Earth is just one big data center. It is, but it's a freaking organic one. And I think, oh, there we go. There's the other part that came back. I was like, there was something else I was gonna say. I remember now. And so it finally sunk in for me. Okay. Oh, fuck. Don't eat Princess D. No. Don't forget JFK Jr. Don't forget JFK Jr. And I'm sorry, but I'm done with idolatry worship. And there we go. Oh my God. See, all the things are coming back. Okay. Piscean eyes. The Piscean eyes. The Piscean eyes. That was what David Wilcock came back saying to me on Monday. Literally, I woke up and that's what they kept saying. The Piscean eyes. The Piscean eyes. The Piscean. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? You know? You got me all distracted now. Carrie Cassidy, what the fuck? What the fuck, Carrie Cassidy? Like, again, she's going down that same road, like here of like, I guess she's not married herself so completely, I guess, to some certain thing, but it does seem like she married herself to this whole JFK Jr. and the White Hats and all that stuff. And it's like, thank you for the work that you've done in the community and all the good information that you brought forward, but I think your time is done. I think if that's what you're promoting, the stuff you're promoting, I think I'm done looking up to people like that. I'm done with this. I'm done with all these big names that are repeating the same messages and hoping and praying that it works out for them, because that's basically what David was doing. He was like, oh, you know what? I can't change, because if I change, I'm going to have to admit to all the people that I misled that I got it wrong and I misled them, and he couldn't handle that. And I feel like there's a lot of people, big names up there in this community, that are doing the same thing. Yeah, I agree with the people in the chat here. I agree with you, Matthew. 100%. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Just saw he's president of the Inner Earth. Oh, wow. I did not know that, Miss White Swan. Have you gone after her on Twitter or something like that? It's like these people need pushback at this point. I'm fucking tired of it. God, who was another one? I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who got us to take the money out, me and my friend. I just can see his face. He was like he did this video of the tribunal for human atrocities or something like that. He was like, he wore like a judge's thing. He made it like look real official, but it really wasn't something that was official, but he came across like that. And he's like got a white beard. He's kind of bigger guy. I can't remember. I think he's almost bald. Someone's going to remember who I'm talking about. Someone's got to know who I'm talking about. You know, David Steele. Yes, that guy. Pretty sure it was that guy. But it's like, and after lockdowns ended and all that type of stuff, and a couple years went by, and none of the 10 Days of Darkness and all that type of stuff happened. Oh yeah, what about Sasha Stone? Remember Sasha Stone, where he like had me terrified. Like, you got to spend like $300 on some EMF fucking thing to cover up your house so that you don't get, altered by the 5G or whatever it is, right? That guy too. Right. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them. And there's ones that I have even been friends with, I guess you could say, that are still saying the same stuff. And those are the ones that I'm really annoyed with. I can't even watch them anymore. And see, that's part of my issue right now is like, I want to start calling those people out. I'll be real with you. I want to. And I know that people could easily do the same thing to me. I know people could go through my stuff, and I'm very vulnerable, and I put all of myself out there, and they could easily listen to my work and have some comments, have some criticism. I get that. But you don't see me up here promoting that same stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially considering the Piscean, we're out of the Piscean age, Piscean savior age. That was what the astrologer that I watched put it as. He's like, the age of the Piscean savior complex is over and done. That is what died with David Wilcock. That died with him. No more of this someone's coming to save us complex thing. And here's what's so ironic. Like, wasn't that their main message too? Corey Good and David Wilcock, wasn't it? We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the saviors. Like, we're the ones. But wait. 10 Days of Darkness coming. But wait. White hats. But wait. 5G chess. But wait. It's like, wait a second. I thought we are the ones that we've been waiting for. It's contradictory. It's kind of hypocritical there. So that age astrologically is done. And apparently, according to David's death chart, like I said, I was right. There was this like 5 different planets that came through, all opposing Saturn and Pluto, okay, which are like some big heavy hitter guys that are going to be like knock you on your ass, basically. And they did. And so that left him open for that fracture. And that left him open. That gave us the opportunity for merger. So it worked out in the long run, but still, I think that just out of kindness and compassion, I much would have rather had David stay here and been able to use his following and use his leadership and his amazing ability to be a good orator and entertainer. I wish he could have used that now to help redirect and steer us to what the truth is. Which the biggest lesson that he could have taught us if he had stayed was that it's okay to change your beliefs. It's okay to have gotten things wrong. It's okay to have made mistakes. And he couldn't handle that. And so I'm just curious when that's going to start happening, if that's going to start happening from some of the other peoples in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, will they allow his death to really impact them in the way that it should? Will they really look at it the way that they should? I don't know. I don't know if they will or not. And I know I'm just a small little channel, And even though, my followers have, I might not have like huge following, but the followers I have are so powerful and meaningful to me. And I know that you wouldn't be here if you weren't a real warrior fighting for the planet, fighting for humanity, and fighting for the light and being of service to others. I know that you wouldn't even be on my frequency. You wouldn't even be able to hear me. And it's like, in fact, the people who are hearing me, if you are watching and you don't dig what I'm saying and you want to be a hater and you're feeling repulsed by it for some reason, it's because there's something that the frequencies are out of alignment, and you're not going to be able to get my message because there's something in you that is holding you back from hearing that truth. There's just something in you that's holding you back, if that's the case. People who are here, my tribe that is here, like vibing with the message that I am giving, you're the real ones for real. The real ones. Yeah. Okay. So let me see if there's anything else. I'm going to search my mind. The Piscean eyes. I can't believe that. It was very strange. It was a very strange experience. Like I said, like, it's such a powerful energy. Like, I just want other people to experience that. I hope it's coming through somehow energetically for people to know, No hats. Yes, Julian. No hats. I agree with this. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just reading some of the comments real quick. Yeah, I know. That's the thing about David Wilcock, too, Miss White Swan. Miss White Swan made a comment. And she said, I just couldn't stand his marathon streams. I'll admit I tuned out of David Wilcock quite a few years ago because of it. I did too. And although he was quite comical, you know what I'm saying? He was quite funny, but you could just hear that he was just, what's the word? He'd become a joke. I'm sorry. He, as comical as he was, he completely lost himself in the delusions that he held on to with such ferocity, and it didn't even come across like fiercely, you know what I'm saying? It just came across like he gave people hope. Like he said it and he spoke it in a way where it was like you could tell he really felt that truth. And here's the problem with that, with people who don't have discernment and they're looking to follow someone, is that they're going to hear that and they're going to lean into that. They're going to lean on that person's ability. They're trusting that person's discernment, and they're actually being led astray because they're not using their own discernment. And so when you're leaning on someone else's discernment and you're not practicing, you're not sharpening that blade, it makes way for this type of situation to happen. Where he, again, the main message that he came through with for me when he came here to visit me on Monday, basically, was that he really wants to just let people know that he's really sorry that he misled them. Like, that was what broke him, was the idea of how many people he was going to disappoint and let down by admitting the truth, not only to himself, but to everyone else. And he just literally couldn't do it. It just was too much for him to bear. And so he took himself out. And you could kind of hear it in his voice in the phone call, like, I have to leave. And it was like, okay, I hear you. I feel you. Yeah. Sanpaku eyes. Yeah. Yeah. Those are crazy eyes. Yeah. Those are the psychopath eyes, right? I don't really see that Sanpaku eyes though in him when I think about that, though. There might be some others though we could look at in the community for sure. Okay. Was there anything else that happened for me this week besides this stuff? Besides just being happy to have gotten a little taste of the heaven frequency, it was wonderful. I had just the best Monday. I just don't know how to tell you other than that, guys. I had the best time. I had the best Monday because of it. And I was just like, I'm really excited to get out there and to share this message with people. And so here I am. Yeah. Erica Kirk eyes. Erica Kirk. She's another one, right? I feel like her. Let's tap into Erica Kirk for a minute. Let's tap into Erica Kirk. You guys want to do this real quick? Let's tap into Erica Kirk for a minute. She's having a really rough time. She really thought that she was going to have it all and be just the pretty princess, the pampered queen. Um, she thinks she's such a great actress. She thinks she's so good at it, and she's not. She's absolutely terrible. In fact, I was talking to myself this morning, and I was thinking about Geraldine, and I was crying. And of course, my guide over here had to chime in, and he was like, yeah, you know, if this were to happen on your stream, you should tell people to clip the stream and send it to Erica Kirk, so that she could see what it looks like to have real tears. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, this is true, because she really like, I just want to go home. I want to go home. Never seen a fucking tear come out that bitch's eye. Not once. Fucking this woman. This plant. But yeah, when I tap into Erica Kirk's energy, she is like frustrated as hell. She is like at her breaking point. She like really, they have tried everything to like steer people away from seeing the truth. She just thought it was going to be so much easier. They really had her convinced. I also think, I mean, obviously everyone knows from probably watching the hug that she had with JD Vance. I think that she, I don't know, maybe she even slept with him already. I don't know. They could even be brother and sister, but you know, people in the cult, they're not against that type of stuff. So, oh yeah, there it is. The other part, I remember now. The uglifying of things. But yeah, when I tap into her energy, she is just, I mean, furious. Absolutely. Like she just, and there's nothing she can do. She can't escape it now. She put herself in the position for everyone. I mean, do you understand, guys? Especially when you are consciously aware of how connected we all are and how powerful thoughts are. Like all the people who absolutely cannot stand her and see her for what she is, we're all directing our attention and our focus upon her in this negative way. Don't think that she doesn't feel that on some level. You know, she does. She really does. And there's not enough people close to her that are going to be able to shield her from that energetically. It's just not. But she clearly wanted freaking JD Vance. I mean, like your husband just died. You're coming out there in those pants and you're hugging JD Vance. And I know this is old news, guys. And she's saying to him, listen, no man could ever replace Charlie. But I see a lot of qualities in JD Vance that are like him. Bought a couple $1,000 freaking outfits from the yoga plant, like yoga company Aloe. The within 24 hours of Charlie Kirk's passing, and then you see her wearing that outfit to meet JD Vance, and it's like, wow, she was just really concerned about looking good, you know, for her next potential candidate, because they want like what, Erica Kirk for president. She's a doctor now, guys. She accepted a doctorate in Charlie's name. This is what's going on with Erica, fucking Erica. But anyway, the last part that I wanted to say and that I wanted to remember is that it finally sunk in for me. And I've heard this video before, and I've heard this possible truth before, that there's this song that is sung. And again, I am not anti-Semitic. I just want to start off saying that right now. I love all people. I personally lean more towards Jesus Christ, but I absolutely love the truths of all religions. I love truth. I'm so attracted to truth and finding out the truth about things. And so I watched this video of this woman who was a part of a certain community, okay? And she was saying that one of the songs that they sing on their Sabbath or whatnot was basically saying how we uglify things. Like, this is like how they, in their community, you know, how making things ugly, making things corrupted, like that is a positive thing for them. And I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying like the extremists, the bad apple ones, the ones that are pretending to be Jewish when they're not. They're worshiping the synagogue of Satan. So this is what they're promoting. They're saying, like, and finally, I don't know, it clicked and it made sense. And it was like, this is part of the inversion that they've been trying to test God with. This is like, I feel like part of their actual belief system is that what they want to do is almost goat God, right? Be like, let's do the worst things that we can think of, the most unimaginable things. Let's just keep destroying things, keep uglifying things, keep corrupting things, abusing things, because that's going to push God to end it all. That's going to push God to bring that Messiah back, because he has to like come back. And like we're saying, hey, if you're really real, then you're going to come back and you're going to do something about this, because where are you, God? If we do these things, like where's the justice in that? Like, we're just going to keep doing these things because ultimately they want that second coming, because they believe they're going to be the chosen people, right? They believe that. I don't know. Suddenly it just clicked and it locked into place inside me, because again, like all experiences, all learning and all knowledge, it's not just about, you can't just read something for the most part and automatically know what it means right off the bat, unless you've experienced it in some way. Just like the ideal of, you can read how to ride a bike. You can read it written out. Like, this is how you ride the bike. You get on the seat, you put one pedal on the other, but that's not going to teach you how to ride a bike. You're going to have to practice it. You're going to have to experience what it feels like to be on that bike, to have to balance that bike, And so this is what I feel like, we're all doing in our own way. Right. And so for me, it was only at this moment, this past week or whatever, it's like, in hearing that video of the woman saying, we sing this song and we say we uglify things, and like being sexually promiscuous is a good thing. If you're a prude, then we put you down. We talk bad about, like, they promote like the incest and all the worst of the worst. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, something just sunk in. It was like, this is how powerful and how strong their beliefs are, and why. And it's because they really think that they can push God into coming and showing himself and doing something about it. And if he doesn't, well, then they get away with it and they're good. They're good to go, right? Yeah. Oh, I see Erica Kirk is still top of the chat here. We can switch back to that for a second here. Erica is in the branding stage of Greece. Exactly. She really is. They sold so much merch. Listen. How did she put it? Oh my God. Listen, not to be morbid, but my husband is dead. And we sold so many hats. If I was in love with a man and he died like that, he was fucking assassinated and shot, and I had 2 kids with him, first of all, I would not be out there in the public eye. Come on, people. We'd be home with our kids crying our eyes out. Like, you could see the difference between her and Charlie's mother when they got invited to listen to President Trump speak. I forget what event that was at, but you could literally see the difference in what it looks like for someone to actually be grieving the passing of someone. And I do feel really bad for their kids. I do feel really bad for their kids, because they lost their mother and their father, pretty much, if they ever had a mother, I don't even want to tap into that. Ugh, this is sad. I don't want to even look at that. I'm not going to. So, oh yeah, yeah, she did. Joanna said she wanted JD Vance to see Erica Kirk's. Erica wanted JD Vance to see her ass, basically. Clearly she did. She clearly did. The way she wrapped her hand around his neck, I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh, Candace is having a field day with that woman, though. She really is. And I burned myself out a little bit on all of that stuff. I'm just kind of like letting it pass at this point. I do still watch Candace, but like I have fallen behind on like watching the I Am Coach Collins and like Baron Coleman, which she promotes too, because it's like I can only hear the same message repeated so many times. Like, okay, I got it. Clearly you have all this evidence at this point. Again, this is just another example of, we have all this information and as humans, and we're not doing anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Even though there's more of us than them. And we're headed to, you know what? I'm excited. I shouldn't be excited for this stuff, right? I should not be. I'm going to tell you, I should not be excited for this. But those people over the UK and stuff like that, when they started putting up the AI, their surveillance cameras and everything, and then people started going out and like punching the cameras down and knocking all the cameras down. Like, if we start seeing those, I mean, they're already up, really, aren't they? I mean, at every traffic light and stuff like that. Like, people, what are we doing here? Are we really going down? How many things do we have to let them do before we gather up the courage to stand up and be like, okay, enough. Like, this system doesn't work. We can't keep expecting change to come from the system that created the situation in the first place. We can't keep expecting that. We have to, we are the ones that have to disassemble. It's time to disassemble all the things that are holding humanity down from its higher calling and its higher purpose. But think about it. You know what I'm saying? If we were just perfect, pure, loving beings in a joyful, blissful state all the time, okay, our souls would not have the opportunity to grow and evolve and to experience through God by coming down here to this planet where these things are happening. Okay, these horrible things are happening, and it's offering us this opportunity to make the choice of love in so many different moments, and to make the choice of choosing to serve others and to serve the collective as a whole, right? Like, we would not be able to experience that. We would not be able to experience the true depth and meaning of what life really means if it was just a perfect, blissful state down here. If it was just everything was going smooth, that doesn't allow for growth. In order for growth to happen, you have to be challenged. You have to. Suffering does have a purpose in this case, like it does, but it's like it gets to a point where it's like enough is enough. And if we don't learn the lesson, which is to start choosing to have more sympathy, empathy, compassion for one another and the whole, all of us, we can't just keep thinking that it's going to be left to someone else. I don't know. This is, again, it's easy for me to say this now, because we're not really in the depths of the worst of it. But I don't think it's going to get, I don't want to say this, 'cause I don't want to like curse us in a way, but like, I feel like clearly it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, like how hard do things need to become? But also, what will that teach us? What kind of the love that can come from those types of opportunities is so great. And so I don't know. I feel grateful. I feel grateful and happy and kind of spinning a little bit. So I'm just going to check the chat again here, and then we'll pull cards and the fortune cookie. Because I pretty much have said most of what I wanted to say. Because like I said, I didn't have one of our shows ready to go for today. One of the, and again, I don't know which one I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm going to go with a movie. In fact, I'll just take it. I feel like I know what will win, but let's just put it out there. If y'all have watched my Fiona and Cake breakdown, which I thought was amazing story. It was amazing story. No, it was amazing story of Simon and Betty and Fiona and all that happened. We have a season 2 I could go over, which will teach us some things, obviously, because every story teaches us something about ourselves. Whatever we see reflected in it is what's going to teach us about us. We could do that, or we could do Black Mirror. I don't know. Which one would you guys rather? Black Mirror or Adventure Time? I'm just going to pose that. If you're watching in the future and you're not live right now, put it in the comments section. Any type of interaction with the comments also helps me out. So I very much would appreciate that. Let's see. Let's see what Terry is saying. Anarchy, not violence, but people and institutions have power over us. Unless we give them the power. So yes, take the power back and don't idolize anyone. Agreed. Yes, I got what you're saying. I caught what you were throwing down. Yeah, they don't have any power over us unless we give it to them. It's time to take our power back. Okay. I know this is the problem, but at the same time, look how many people complied with COVID, but look how many people have woken up to the hantavirus. The haunt of Black Mirror. I knew it. Black Mirror. Absolutely. You know what? Yeah. We're going to do a Black Mirror episode. Yeah, we are. I just have to figure out which one I want to do now because they're all so good. So many good Black Mirror episodes. We're going to go through. I'm going to go through some Black Mirror episodes. But yeah, the hantavirus, man. They were really trying to get us to buy into that one right away, right? It doesn't look like it's like it was another test to see how compliant we still were. It doesn't seem like that test was really all that great. The hantavirus. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Okay. I heard a fire alarm go off. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, God. I see that. Smoke alarm went off. My son must be making something, maybe. I don't know. For my vape, when I vape, my smoke detector goes off. When I smoked, I could smoke up a storm. Would never go off. What's in that vape that is making my smoke detector go off? I know it's terrible, but I know. Okay, but I'm not there yet. Okay, I'm doing my best. I've quit smoking, as you know. I've still not smoked a cigarette, even though I fucking wanted to bad this week, so bad. Ah, yes. I don't know if there would be as much. It's not but I don't have a carbon monoxide detector up here. It's one I have one, but it's downstairs by my stove and everything like that, next to the kitchen. So I don't know. I don't know what's in that vape making that happen. Boop, boop, boop. If there's any particular Black Mirror episode that you guys have any thoughts on, or that you have specific, I'm not saying I'll do it for sure, but because ultimately I'm going to pick the one I want the most. But if there's one that you suggest and it's like, oh yeah, that one, like I'll go for it. Yeah, that's what it is. Agreed, Victor. Agreed. Okay. Thank you, Maureen. And it's so nice to see you here. I'm giving you a hug. Maureen. Yeah, I love you. Okay, so let's pull the fortune cookie and then we'll do the tarot cards. And if there's anything else that wants to come forward, obviously I'll say it. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. Oh, I guess I already am over an hour, but oh wow. Okay, so we got one left in this little bag. And now we got this one. Okay. We're gonna throw it in there. Okay. Yeah. They get a little noisy when it comes time for fortune. The voices, because I'm crazy. Here we go. 1, 2, and not this one. No, this one. Okay, this one. This is the one. I keep feeling Geraldine here. I keep feeling her here. Wow. Okay. She must have, I think she really likes the fortune cookies. This is what she's telling me. Okay. Thank you for being here. And that's the other thing I started to say but didn't, about the telepathy tapes. If you haven't watched the telepathy tapes, you really need to, in order to understand, like, what I believe is some of the best proof and evidence that we have of how it works when we actually do pass over and how we are able to communicate with each other still, through being connected through the one field, right? All being one thing, really. But they were really able to prove it, like through this. The telepathy tapes was about kids with autism and how they're telepathic, right? And so one of the whole episode of it is about this boy who he had a girlfriend. They were both autistic, and he ended up passing away. And because they had already developed this connection, he was able to communicate not only with her, but he was able to show up and find a way to communicate with his whole family around them and everything like that. And it basically, they were able to, through scientific methods and stuff like that, prove that we're always in connection with each other. It's like we're just when we're not in a physical body, we're just in another frequency, but we're still able to connect, like. So that's where I get that's where the whole idea of we're all really channelers comes up. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of our intention. I'm trying to think of how best to word this. I posted a video and I even talked about it last week. Because this is just a vessel for God, and we're all just spirits, and we're all just frequency. And so the vessel is what's capable. We're antennas, we're senders and receivers. And so when we're not in a physical form, we're still a consciousness, though. And so that consciousness is still going to be able to have its own thoughts and emotions or whatever, however it works over there. And so we're able to pick up on those things. Anyway, my whole point was basically that the Celebrity Tapes was really, really good. And this is how I believe that I'm able to still connect and communicate with people who have passed over on the other side. In fact, there's only been one spirit that I haven't really been able to connect to, and that was literally only because they told me they didn't want to. I couldn't believe it. I tried to connect, and I was like, I'm like, why can't I talk to you? And they were like, no, just leave me alone. I was like, no, I don't want to talk. So I was like, okay, but for the most part, I have a pretty easy time, I feel like, talking to people, especially when they've crossed over. In fact, some part of me actually gets a little excited to be able to talk to them afterward. Because I'm like, oh, yeah, I wonder what now they're going to be able to, because I get excited because I'm like, wow, now they're going to be able to see the whole big picture, the bigger plan, and they can connect to me, and maybe they can give me some pointers and some tips and some help of how to best navigate my road down here. So let's go ahead and let's do the fortune cookie. What does the collective need to hear? Here we go. Let's see. If you wish to see the best in others, show the best of yourself. That's a good one. If you wish to see the best in others, show the best in yourself. That's funny because last week I mentioned that. That's my nature, is to see the best in people. And that can sometimes lead to some heartache, right? Because not everyone sees the best in each other. Not everyone makes that choice. Not everyone makes the choice of love because of programming, because of the way the vessel, this human biotechnology, can get programmed to be very defeating and limiting. And that's the chains that we put on ourselves to keep us from being able to fully express our divinity, our God power, so to speak, and that's another reason why I used the promo that I did today, the picture of me as the Chinese woman. I even put a little thing in my hair for it too. Ooh. But the reason I chose that is because of my character, Love Between Fairy and Devil. And if y'all remember that at all, that was a while ago. God, it's been years since we did that episode, right? But my character in that show was the fairy Orchid. And it turned out that she wasn't actually a fairy at all, that she was actually a goddess that had to have her powers hidden because she was the last of her kind. And there were all different kinds of gods and goddesses. And so what her work was watching the tree of life, basically, and monitoring people's lives were on these leaves. Basically, it was like a collection of all the timelines that were possible for them. And so the leaf would fall down if there was something they were going to pass away or something like that needed corrected. And so her job was to fix the tears and the rips in the timelines, right? And I've slowly been realizing that this is a common theme for me. So I'm starting to realize, if you've been doing something for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime to get better at something, because that's what I think we do as souls as we evolve, is that we come and we reincarnate and we practice on certain things. And when you get to a certain level, it's like certain things come naturally to people because of the time and the work and the energy that they put in previous lifetimes in order to be that good at that thing, right? Okay, so it's like, for instance, like, Beethoven, let's say, since he was like an amazing musical genius, the reason he was that wasn't because necessarily he's like a higher up on higher up on a hierarchical level when it comes to spirits and being a spirit. Okay, but like he had put in the work in all these previous lifetimes. That was his specialty, was music. And so all that work ended up paying off to where he just was naturally that thing. So things that you're just naturally good at and you just remember how to do it, it's because you've done those things for previous other lives. Okay, and so for me, and I know this is a really hard one for people to understand or get behind, I feel like for me, it's timelines. For me, I just understand on some level. I feel like intuitively, like choice points, time alteration, being able to time travel, being like, if you can change one thing at this point, then it will ripple out and you can kind of see that type of stuff. I don't know. For me, I've just felt that is something that I've harnessed and I practice. It's intentions. My intentions, the purity of my intentions is something I've worked on for lifetimes. And that's really the point of what we're all doing, is that we all have our own unique thing that we want to learn and grow and evolve in. And it's about finding which one of those things that are good in you and going with that one. Like, okay, and I'll just bear with you. Like, for instance, I love astrology, absolutely love astrology, but I'm terrible at it. Terrible. It's not that I like can't do it. It's just that I'm basically like elementary school style astrology. I can understand it now. I took a whole year's worth of astrology courses, like astrology classes, okay, in order to understand how to read a chart. But could I take a chart and be able to dissect it like in the way that the guy whose video I watched? Could I ever look at a chart and see that type of stuff? No, I couldn't. So you can clearly see that this guy has worked on astrology for many lifetimes for him to be able to bring this knowledge forward and to share it with us in the way that he does. Okay, so for me, it would be stories, it would be timelines, it would be manifestation, intentions, purity of the heart. Yeah, and it took me a while to really understand that and get that, because when I started doing these things and I started making these heart wishes that I call them, right, these big manifestations, when I started doing that, I just thought the choices I was making was natural for everyone to make those choices. I'm like, obviously anyone would make those choices that I made. Who wouldn't? Well, a lot of people wouldn't, apparently. I did not realize this. A lot of people would have made possibly different choices, but for me, it just seemed that's my nature. This is what I would want to do. And the more pure you can get it, the stronger the impact, so to speak. Okay, I'll just say that. Now we're going to go ahead. Okay. Astrology is like a lifetime study. It is. I'm still, yeah. And keep going, Maureen. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep going. Because it is a beautiful, beautiful field to be working in. You know what I'm saying? It can show us so, so much. Oh, Maureen. Oh. She said my promo was lit. That makes me really happy. I'm glad you liked it. Oh my God, I hear the fire alarm going off. Look at that. I'm so hot. I'm freaking lighting off my fucking smoke detectors without even a fire. Because there better not be. Because there fucking better not be. Oh Lord, I almost like, should I go check? Should I not? Oh, okay, I'm not. Hold on. I'm like looking to see if I have any blue. We're gonna take this, we're gonna just take this down for now. I absolutely love this. Oh, look how pretty that is. Look at that. I need to show you guys. It's got like an aura thing to it. Oh my God, it's so pretty. But it's time to let my hair down because we're about to get into tarot. So serious time, guys. Get serious. It's fucking serious 2026. Okay. Double up on my glasses. Serious time. Wow, you could see how I was like, I'm like Tanner, and like I need to get some sun. It's been fucking winter. Woo! Yes. It's getting hot in here. Oh, that's a terrible song. I hate that song. Okay. All right. Yeah, you know what? When I first moved in, my smoke detector would go off just randomly. And we had like a bunch of them. They would just randomly go off for no reason. And I told my landlady about it. And she was like, yeah, you know, it was doing that to me when I was trying to fix up the house to get it ready for you. And she was like, I just think it's a spirit of the woman, you know, who lived here before you, because the woman died here. The woman who lived here before me, she died. So I don't know. Her name was Linda. Mm-hmm. God bless her. Hope she passes on well. I'm not hanging around here just making my smoke detector go off. Why do that? You know? Maybe it's David. Maybe it's David. And here's the thing. Okay, I'm about to pull the cards, I promise. But here's the thing. It's like, and this is what makes it hard for me, because I had this powerful experience, you know, with this person, with this the spirit, I guess you could say. And it's like, because David was such a popular figure, I know there are so many people out there that are like, oh, I'm channeling David. I'm getting a message from David, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, how do I not come across like one of those people? Because there are some of them that I'm just like, oh my God. You know, like Elizabeth April. Okay, she's a really great example of someone I think that's absolutely full of shit and just making shit up. And she's just like the whole Charlie Erica Kirk thing, which I won't bitch about again because I've bitched about it like 2 or 3 times now. But it's like, I don't want to be like one of them. Like, I want people to feel the truth about what I'm saying. I want people to be able to experience it like in some form, in the way that I did, to let them know. Like, and that's another thing that he told me he was waiting for before he came back after 3 days of being silent and having completely merged his eyes into my hands, right? Like, I don't forget what I was going. Forget what I was going with that. Hold on, I'll get it back. I'm gonna say, hold on, let's see. No, I'm not gonna be able to get it back. Really? Yeah, it's like, how? Okay, well, it's just like, how do I get my message across in a way where it comes through as authentic and true, as opposed to some woman who has this big name coming out there and being like, Erica Kirk's a good woman, and she was pushed out of her body, and she's living with. See, I said I wasn't going to do it. I said I wasn't going to. I said I wasn't going to go down that road again. I'm not. I'm stopping myself right now. Cut myself off. Okay. Just drives me nuts. Let's clear the space, please. Clear it. There we go. All right. What does the collective need to hear? Please assist me. Geraldine, if you're there, please help me out here. Okay. All right. My guides, my guardians. Yeah. Pull us the right cards that we need. And show us energetically, what do we need to know about the next week or so? Or even just right now, maybe. Maybe this is going to be something that's applying to you right this minute, you know? However it comes through for you, it comes through. And trust and believe in yourself. And I ask that it be clear and concise message here for all of us. Okay. Clear, because I know. You're telling me one more thing. Okay. I'll say that at the end if you remind me. Otherwise, I won't. So I'm not saying it right now. So here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. 1, 2, and trust in here, guys. All right, one. So let's put a message to. Okay, baby boy. Let's see what we got. Okay, so for our 3-card reading today, for the energies going on around us right now, is we really need a break. My God, do we need a break? There is so much that has been going on, and it is time to stop and take a moment to just rest, relax, put the thoughts down, put the words down. There's nothing more to say at this point. Okay, it's a resting period. It's just like, you want to know what you're supposed to say when you get this card? I'll tell you what you're going to say. You're going to say this. That's what you want to say. Nothing. Okay, so if there's someone or something that you've just been at it with, okay, some situation, some experience that you're going through right now, and you're just overwhelming, you're just running yourself in circles here, it's like it's time to stop and meditate and take a break and get some rest and relaxation. And so the next part of the card we got here is this, is because when you come back from that, when you come back from taking that time to rest and relax, you're going to come back with this type of energy, which is the Queen of Rods, which I absolutely love this energy, okay? Because this is the fire energy. This is fire energy. This is the bold woman, okay? She's putting herself out there. She's confident. She's strong. She has a lot to say. She goes out there and she could very much be an entertainer for sure. You know, why, cameraman? Why? Could you calm down? My God. Like last week, it barely moved, right? And now it's like all over the place. Okay. So anyway, back to the Queen of Rods. So the Queen of Rods energy is maybe you feel like you've been too exposing of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you feel even a little bit vulnerable, because that's the thing, is like she doesn't really think about it. She just does the things. That's what fire energy does. It can't just sit and wait for things. It has to act. You know, fire has to burn. She's got things she's passionate about. She wants to share those things with people. Okay. And the thing is that she there's a certain part of herself. You have to realize that about the Queen of Rods. There's a certain part of herself where she feels like I need to hide this. If people saw this about me, they would not approve of it. So it's like that's part of what she's doing with the actions that she's taking and being bold and being bright and putting herself out there. And like imagine like a dancer of sorts, you know what I'm saying? And they're like they're waving things around, maybe a fire dancer, right? You know, and like there's something over here behind them, and they're like, and you're like, what is that thing that you're holding over there? And they're just, oh no, you know, like, don't look at that, you know. And it's like, but then you stop and you do look at it, and it's like the most beautiful gem that they have behind them. And they're like, oh no, what is that? What is that behind you? Oh, it's just something I've been working on. It's just something I've been working on. No, it's not that important. And it's like, no, actually that's really amazing. That's beautiful, because she's been putting all this time and energy and fire energy, this actions energy, into creating whatever it is that she has become. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're feeling in resonance with the Queen of Rods, or someone in your life is in resonance with this, it's like, really honor yourself, honor that energy, realize that it is perfect just the way it is. It's exactly the way it's meant to be. You know, I feel like that's the main message coming through. It's like, you are exactly what you're meant to be right now. Like you're there's nothing wrong with you. It's okay. Like, keep going, keep doing what it is you're doing. Okay. And so the last card that we got here is we got a 9 of Cups. Okay, so we had the take a break. We have the Queen of Rods energy coming through, saying, you know, keep doing what you're doing, keep taking those actions, keep being bold, being bright, don't hold back. And then we got the 9 of Cups. So the 9 of Cups is going to be about a lot of emotions. Okay, and it's like you're carrying all these emotions inside you. You understand? Like all these cups, they're so full. And I definitely can resonate with this right now, considering what I've been feeling all week. It's like I have all these different emotions about all these different things, and the cups are so full, and I'm very grateful. I'm feeling gratitude. I'm feeling happy. You know what I'm saying? And even though all the emotions might not be positive ones, you know what I'm saying? Like, clearly this guy has had his fill, you know, and he seems pretty pleasantly happy with himself when it comes to that, because it's a wish fulfilled. This is always, to me, this is always going to be the wish fulfillment card. You're going to get a wish that you wanted. Okay, the thing is that you're going to keep going forward on your road. To me, he looks like he's going forward on a road, and all those cups are behind him, kind of like lining the way for him. It's like, wow, you know, I have all these things that I'm so grateful for, and all these emotions and all these cups. It's like, but the thing you have to keep in mind is that, God, the thing you have to keep in mind is that eventually some of those emotions have to get poured out. They do, because if you're ever going to put more into those cups, if you're going, you know, it's like if something's, if a fluid sits in a cup, okay, and it stagnates, it turns bad. So if you have all these emotions inside you, you're going to have to eventually pour some of them out. You're going to have to let yourself feel them, and then let them flow through. It's like you can't just hold on to feelings. Like, you have to let them flow through you. Okay, because otherwise it turns corrupted. It gets poisoned. Okay, so the wish that you wanted, like the emotions that you have about it, like it'll get stagnated. You don't want to do that. The only way you're going to have new emotions about new things come over without you turning into someone getting obese, right? Look at this. This guy's like getting fat, right? So the only way you're going to be able to do that is by pouring out some of what's already in the cups and replenishing it, and letting new experiences, like welcome in new experiences. Okay, welcome in new experiences with the hidden energies being in your own home. Okay, we got the 4 of Rods here. So this is the hidden energy. So this is the current of energy that you might not realize is underneath everything right now, but this is what is pushing us forward, which is practicing something, getting good at something, doing it on repeat. It could be, you know, with another person. Could be a partnership of sorts where you're practicing a dance and you're doing it in this one spot, like in a studio. You're doing it over and over and over again, because you're going to get good at it, because eventually you're going to take whatever it is that you're practicing and you're getting better at in the home or in your own personal space and environment. You're going to take that and you're going to present it to the world, which falls perfectly in line with the Queen of Rods type of energy. Okay, like you're going to get some type of wish that you want, but you really need to stop, and this is your permission to stop and just put the thoughts down for a minute. Okay, like if you, like for me, like when I look at this, okay, it's like, well, I am very hard on myself. You know what I'm saying? If I'm the Queen of Rods here, it might be time for me to stop and take a moment and do this meditating and it's like I've come here to you guys today, and I've poured all these cups out about what I've been experiencing for the past week. And even though I was a little bit hesitant about it, and I literally lost a subscriber as soon as I posted my fucking promo, and I knew I was going to, possibly because of the fact that I put something on there that was a little bit witchy. And I pretty much kind of had a little bit of a Christian Trump following for a long time, you know? So I'm like, I'm taking a chance because I want the best of the best to come through. I want the people that this message is really for to ride on in here. And my message is not for the people who are, what's the word for it? Who want to be zealots. You know what I'm saying? Who want to be so unbending in their beliefs that they're unwilling to grow, and then they hold all of humanity back because they're part of us. You know? So, yeah, so whatever it is that you're doing, and this also says harmony. You know what I'm saying? That the energies that are influencing us, if there has been strife or conflict in your home life, or like, I get the feeling like family life, home life, harmony is trying to work in your favor. I feel like we need to look at the astrology too coming up here, because it could be influencing us actually in a positive and beneficial way when it comes to really clearing out the old and making way for the new. Okay, like the old programs have to fall away so we can make room for, if we do this meditation, okay, that we stop and we really put those swords down. Like the swords are our thoughts, our ideals, right? If we put that down, okay, it's like, and we That's what can make the space for these new ideals to come forward of how to actually do this type of stuff that I've been talking about today, like, Bernie. If you were only following now, you're gonna have to go back and figure it out. Figure it out. Just figure it out. Okay. So anyway, I like this reading for us today. I do think this is a good. I like the ultimate energy that's coming through here. I do feel positive about it. I think that it's been it's been a rough time for a lot of people lately, and worry not. Get rid of the old. It's time to make way for the new. You're going to get some wish that you want. Okay. And just keep practicing. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, I'm specifically now even thinking about one of my good girlfriends who's here in the chat right now. Like, keep doing what you're doing. Both of them, actually. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. Like, you're going to get somewhere with it. Keep practicing. Okay. Truly, I love you. I love you all. I'm feeling so much joy and happiness in my heart for you. For all of you here. Like, you have no idea what it means to me. And I hope that God finds some way to send you some burst of it, of what it actually means to me, because things have such depth and meaning for me. And I want to feel those. I want to feel those feelings. I want to feel that, and I want people to feel me. I want them to know what they mean to me. I want everyone here in this chat or in the future watching this to know, like, you are important. You're important to me. You're important to this world. Everyone has a part to play. Don't think you don't have a purpose. You absolutely have a purpose, divine purpose. And I think if anything, hold on to the ideal that one of your purposes here is just to simply experience your feelings and experience the situations that you come through, and to do your best to choose love in every moment and not the fear programming. Do your best to choose love as often as you can. Look for love everywhere that you can, because that love, God is love. And when you find love, you find God. And I just hope that you'll take those words and you'll take them into your heart, and that Four of Swords comes through, and you take that moment to really stop and let it sink in. What is it like? What does that feel like? To feel truly appreciated from just a simple little YouTuber, a simple little blue-haired girl over here. I can't stress that enough for all of you here. Just thank you for giving me purpose. I love you. I love you. Thank you for giving purpose and meaning to my life. Like, y'all mean the world to me. Oh, Julian, thank you. I love that. That's what I would get quoted with. That is a treasure. So yeah. Okay, I don't think anything else is really coming up. Oh, they reminded me. And I'm sorry. I hate to do this. I feel like I'm gonna spoil this, and I hope I'm not leaving us too much on a bad note. But I think someone's been watching my streams that I don't want watching my stream anymore. I know I shouldn't be picky, right? Like, I'm like, I love each and every one of you, and I do. But there's someone who's taking what I stream about and they're using it against me in a way to be kind of they're taking things that I'm like was coming out here and sharing out of context, I feel like, and I'll just call it out. It's my ex. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's been watching my streams, and at this point I just wish that he wouldn't anymore. Like, I'm not ready for that right now anymore. I just like I don't want to get those thoughts anymore. I don't want to have conversations with him anymore. I think I've told you guys. I think I tried to be friends. I attempted. I thought maybe I was wrong. Maybe I can just be friends. But I couldn't, because again, I have to use discernment when it comes to who I share myself with. And granted, I'm putting myself out here in a public way for everyone and anyone to come through and watch. But it's like at this point, I guess they can watch, but like don't expect to talk to me anymore. I guess that's really all I want to say. You can watch, but like don't expect to hear from me again. You know, I'm ready to just go forward with my life and with the people who choose love and to show me love and not fear and unkindness. Because I mean, this is more grace than I've given to most of my exes. I mean, I usually don't. I'll be real. If you haven't followed me for a long time, I have literally put my exes through the ringer. People I weren't even exes with, and I was like, I will call and say all of the things that they're doing. You know what I'm saying, and like all the details. You know, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm done doing that with this person. I'm done. Like I don't feel the need for it anymore. Which is a progress. It's a sign of progress for me. That's a sign of progress. You know, the fact that I don't feel the need to go into all those details anymore. Because I'm a fighter. I mean, I'm a fighter when it comes to someone doesn't understand me and I just want them to so bad, you know? And so I'm like, there's got to be the words. There's got to be the right words. God's got to be able to give me the right words to where I can express myself in a way where I can come across, they'll understand me, and then I'll be able to feel like seen and it'll be good, right? But there's just, sometimes you just have to accept that is not possible. Sometimes, not all the time. Not all the time. So that's all I want to say about that. Matthew West. Hello there. Relationship with the creator, not another human. Breakups or attachments are hard. I'm 9 years single and I still feel heartache. Oh. Then I live with her in another timeline. So that plays with me. Oh, wow. Okay, then. I can feel that. Yes, cut the cords. It's so funny you say that because remember, like I always have the heart palpitations when I can't, like, and I just started, that just started happening a little bit. So I'm almost wondering if they're like listening or something right now. Cause it seemed like, I'm not even joking. Like my heart palpitations went away. And then I started communicating with them again. And the second I started doing that, the heart palpitations came back. And I was like, God damn it. You know, like I went through all this to get to the point where I'm not having them anymore. And then they start to come back and I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, I feel you on that one, Matthew West. I feel you on that one. You know, it just seems like the older we get, it's like, you know what it's like? There's a fucking loud ass car going on outside out here. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Something crazy is going on. But it's oh, they're gonna make me lose it too. No, I'm gonna get it back. I might be a little slow today, but I'm gonna get it back. It seems like as we get older, and the more experiences you have, and the more fine-tuned you become to who, like, it's like we're all different puzzle pieces. I've given this analogy before. We're puzzle pieces, you know what I'm saying? And at the beginning of life, and in your 20s, it's kind of like a kid's puzzle where they're like big and they're clunky and they only have like the one little hoop that you got to stick it together. It's like, oh, we can match, you know? And then the older you get and the more experiences you go through, the more the puzzle piece gets chiseled away at, right? And you start to make it a little more unique, and it's like, oh God, now I'm fucking looking. Who's ever gonna be able to fit with this? I don't even know, because it's like such a crazy shape now. And finding someone to line up with you so that you can match when you've refined yourself to this specific way of experiencing like who you are. You know, it gets harder. And so it's like, it's not so easy as you get older. I noticed, like, it's not so easy to just go out there and find anyone that you can even just have natural feelings for. Like that's been the hardest part, I think, for me. So I don't know. It just really struck a chord with me. You saying that you've been 9 years single and you still feel that heartache or whatnot. And it's like, it does seem to get harder as we get older, doesn't it? I don't think it's impossible though to find someone, but you know, that was what this past relationship really taught me was like, wow, look how long it took me to finally find someone that I felt that I actually had feelings for the first time, where I was like, oh my God, this person feels like a boyfriend. I actually feel like I want them to be my boyfriend. This is the first time this happened for me. And, the person I lived with before then, the trucker guy that I used to talk about, right? Like I never ever felt that way for him. And that's all I really wanted. In fact, I remember even telling him, was like, what I was looking for from him was the best friends. Like I want to be best friends because I felt like you have to build on friendship, and like you have to have a foundation of friendship in order to have that next level come in. And so here I found that, I thought. And so it made it a lot harder for me to let go once I realized it wasn't going to work out and we weren't going to line up, because look how long it took. I'd already been, okay, now granted, I'm only coming from the place of my soul braid walk-in, my, daughter, me being pregnant with my daughter, and my being told the story that my heart had died, all that type of stuff. So it's only been like, hey, it's been 9 years. That's funny. 9 years, 9 coming up. So it's like, how long it took. Like, really? And now I'm back at square one, it feels like, again. Like, because of course, no one that matches my puzzle piece is like anywhere, it feels like, in the state that I'm in, the state of Michigan, right? Like, what the fuck? So I definitely feel you on that one. But I do think that there's a lot of other ways to find fulfillment and to find connections to people. And I think that when I was younger, one of my biggest issues was that was the only way I would allow myself or knew how to accept attention, or like having a connection to like men was only through that romantic layer. I never knew how to really be friends with them. I only knew how to dating, like, we're trying this or not, and so now I've come across as like being able to find out ways to connect and feel connected to people without that, without that level. And life can be really beautiful, and it can be really fulfilling when you have a group of friends that you really trust and you can share yourself with, which I can say I finally have for the first time, in my life. I really do feel that way. Like I have true friends that I can count on, that I can lean on, that I can share myself with, that will hear me and won't judge me necessarily. I don't know. It's my final thoughts, I guess. No, it was the programs that ended the relationship, he says. She was a soulmate and a trap spiritually for who you are. Man, my cameraman's going crazy. I'm not even moving, and he's going all sorts of all over the place. Could you please calm down, sir? Could you please calm down, sir? All right. Anyway, let me see. It never goes away. Hold on. I do miss her. It never goes away. It took me 9 years. No see to find someone again, but I'm weird. Yeah. It's okay. You can be weird. You can be weird here with us. It's natural, and instead of hiding, it's for me to embrace what emotions I feel, a higher corresponding consciousness. The mental body plays games and makes me feel sad. I understand. I do. I appreciate you sharing. Sorry, but this guy has got to calm down. Okay. Prayers for you, Matthew. I hope that sting, whatever that is, that's still left there, the ideal of whatever it is, like she was in the programs with you, she was a soulmate. I hope that there's some way for you to reconcile that inside of yourself and to be able to really find things. Okay, how do I want to put this? Well, I'm trying to word something that's in my heart. It's a feeling, and so I have to put these words on the feeling, and sometimes it gets a little harder to do. But I think ultimately you have to realize that there can be someone just as important and as meaningful to you still left for you to find and meet. There can, that can still be a thing. Like all those other things that you mentioned, you know, as valid and true as those may be for you, like there's still, like, don't give up hope. You know what I'm saying? That there's something else out there for you. Like that's the one thing. Like I guess that's what I would say is, like, don't lose hope that there's something that is just as important and as deep and as meaningful in a person that you can find out there that will come to you, or that you will chance encounter with. You know, in fact, maybe even that's part of what's holding you back from that, is that sting. I don't know, because I hasn't been far enough for me, time period wise, away from when my relationship ended, for me to know. Like I guess you'd have to check back with me in 9 years. If I'm still missing them in 9 years, I'd be kind of upset about that. I think I'd be kind of upset about that. It's like, what part of them are you missing? You know what I'm saying? I'd start asking myself, like, what is that? What is that about? And I'm sorry, I'm being like real diagnostic here. You know? I know my cameraman's all over the place. Again, he stopped moving last week, so I don't understand why he's doing this to me this week. I hope that made sense, Matthew West. Doing my best to be able to relate to you here. And I feel like I do, because my ex had a very spiritually significant part in my story that I weaved him into. You know what I'm saying? And I had to weave him back out, so to speak. But that was, I feel like that was the part he was always meant to play. It was the part he was always meant to play. And he played it, and he played it well. He did a good job. Good to him, you know? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, God bless you. For real. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think on that note, I think we're about to leave. I think I'm about to head out. Again, I'm just scanning over my internal thoughts here to see if there's anything else that I wanted to say. I don't think, if you've hung out with me this long, I appreciate you hanging around to the end. Oh man, I went over 2 hours. I was trying so hard to, I try to cut it before, you guys know, I try to cut it before 2 hours, because so hopefully it gets recommended. But at this point, I'm such a small channel, and I don't think that I get promoted that much, because I'm just, it's, how do I promote myself as, what am I? What even am I? Like, you know, I can't just be like channeler or psychic medium or tarot reader. Like, I do tons of different things. I do all these different things. So it's like, I'm too niche. I don't know, too niche. Anyway, if you could, please hit the thumbs up on the way out. And, oh, you're in full spinster mode, huh, Holland Sass? That's funny. You know, but you know, that's what will make it even better, is if you're just enjoying your life. That's how I look at it. If you're just enjoying your life and you're living, because I'm not necessarily out there looking either. Like, I'm not out there like I would never go on a dating app or anything like that. Like, that shit's insane. I'm sorry. That shit's crazy. That's why I don't know how people find each other anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't go out into public and meet places, unless, you know, like for conferences and stuff we do. But then again, like that, they usually don't live close, and long distance relationships are really freaking hard. So wait, what are we waiting for? And anything is possible. Absolutely, anything is possible. So think of how much more meaningful it will be if that does come along. And if it doesn't, you're still finding joy, and you're finding things that mean something in your life, and it's good. It's so good, you know? Right? I thought about that today. It's so funny you mentioned that, Victor, because my children were actually, we were joking around about that. We were joking around about that very thing. It's funny. So I need to make my eye doctor appointment. This is ridiculous that I have to wear 2 sets of glasses to fucking read the chat. Yeah. Exactly. That's how I feel about it, Maureen. We are in alignment. We are in alignment, Maureen. I feel very much the same way. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force it. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm good. This fucking camera. Yeah. Facebook, baby. Yeah, I know. Facebook has literally been the thing that brought me and most people that I've talked to that I dated or whatnot in this past. This is literally what's done it. Like you know what it did? It's like Facebook starts, oh God, Facebook is a crazy, fucking Facebook. It starts like, how do I put this? People have shown me before. They've screenshotted to me and shown me where Facebook will be like, Aurora Diamond Heart just posted, Aurora Diamond Heart just posted, Aurora Diamond Heart just posted, Aurora Diamond Heart just posted. And it's not like I'm interacting with their page. It's like I'm just posting and it picks up. And for some reason, it like tries to force my page and my post onto people. It'll be like, literally, it'll take up their whole notifications thing. They'll be like, Aurora Diamond Heart just posted, Aurora Diamond Heart just posted. So it's like, or it will stalk people with this. You may know this person. You may know this person. That was how I met the trucker. Was he said for like two guys I've talked to have said the same thing. They were like, I kept seeing you. I may know this person, and they kept suggesting you, and I may know this person for like a year. For like over a year, it's been suggesting me as a friend, and they wait a year, and then they text me, and then we either hit it off or we don't. I ended up, like the one guy, I ended up moving in with him, right? The other guy was just talking. But Facebook is an instigating ass bitch. That's what I'll say about Facebook. Facebook is instigator. The algorithm, they know things. They do things. Fake book. Only if you're on there, right, Crispy? Wait. Oh, wait, I forgot. You're on Grindr. Isn't that it? Isn't that the one you're on? Grindr? I shouldn't laugh at my own joke that bad. Come on, that's it. Okay, I'll stop. Yeah. I knew it. See, I knew it. I knew you were on Grindr. Is that how you found Tony? Oh, shit. Okay, I'll stop. Don't want to fuck with the SSP Golden Boy anymore. I mean, eventually I might be saying some more things, though. Because, like I said, I'm tired of these people promoting this stuff that is leading a bunch of people astray for no good reason, like David Wilcock. I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. And I've been holding back. I've not been given names. I've been pretty polite about it, I think. I just don't know if I want to go full burning bridges to the ground yet. Because I might. I just might. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Oh, and Sass, you're making me laugh too. Oh, my God. My God. Oh, my God. A Starseed dating app, she said. I'll just say it. Starseed dating app that would be called The Big Bang. That's fucking great. That is fucking great. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Having a good time. See, this is what I've been doing. And that's the other thing that David Wilcock's energy brought forward, that high spiritual energy. Oh, my God. The jokes. God, the jokes this guy fucking cracks. It's like, what? I'm so lucky because I have the best guides and spirit team because they just make me fucking laugh all day long. And I have a great time when I'm in alignment with feeling them. So, oh, Victor. Okay. Oh, we're getting out of control now, guys. Oh, God. Victor said, or call it the black hole. Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be the gay version, like Grindr. The black hole for starseeds. So it'll be like, the Big Bang and the black hole. And it'll be like Tinder and Grindr. Oh, Lord. Seed stars. Okay. Call it seed stars. There you go. We got it. Well, I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed my stream tonight. I hope I wasn't too controversial. But fuck it if I was. Also, don't forget our spell that we're casting. This is our mission, guys. I'm giving you a little mission. I need you to put it in your head. This is the spell words. Ready for it? I gotta fucking remember how to say it now. I always see it. I always want to say it as I see it written in my head. Diaspora zealots. Diaspora zealots. Diaspora zealots. Diaspora zealots. You're fucking out of here. We're done. We're done playing with your fucking bullshit. We're done. No Q, no Trump, no fucking white hats, no fucking, we're ascending to the fucking 5D, no solar fucking flare, no fucking blue avians, no fucking tons of people, everyone in the SSP. I'm sorry, I have to bring it up there. Some of you, yes. Some of you, yes. So a lot of you, though, a lot of them, no. You know what I'm saying? You know who is kind of crazy, but I think was right and is right for the most part. I like him a lot, actually, a lot more now. Arkeem Ra, that guy. And he had more right than I did. I was like, this guy's crazy. You know, like, no, actually, I think he's a little bit more right about some things than I thought he was. I know. I'm so done with all these things. I'm so done with all these fake things. You know what I'm saying? I'm so done with people who are like, all you ever need is just sound healings. All you ever need is just singing bowls to heal. No. It takes more than that. Listen, I did a lot of fucking healing through sound healings. I really did. But you know what else I did? I did Qigong. I did heavy metal detoxing. I changed my entire diet. Okay? I took time every single day to fucking meditate. All right? Like, I put the work in to get where I'm at now when it comes to my spiritual body and my abilities. You know? So it's like, I'm at my wit's end with this stuff, guys. And my cameraman is apparently too, because he will not fucking stop. So, all right. I love you guys. I'm leaving though. I'm leaving for real. I could stay till 2:22, right? No, I won't. It literally just said 2 hours, 12 minutes, 12 seconds though. So I think this is a good time. This is a good time to go. I love you guys so much. The people in the chat, you literally make it hard to fucking leave. Do you understand that? You make it hard to leave. Because I love you all so much. And the conversations we're having is just so much fun. Okay, I'll be back next week. Hopefully next week. I'm going to get a hold of Anchor Haven. I might actually be with Anchor Haven. Okay, so just look for I'll send a little thing, a post on YouTube if I'm going to go on with Anchor Haven. We can arrange our schedules. And if not, hopefully I'll just wish me well that I'll be back here next week because I love you guys. Okay. Mwah. Have a great weekend. Remember, diaspora zealots, it's time that we start calling out the fake ones. It's time. Back me up on this, guys. We got this. And on that note, bye. Follow your heart. Bye-bye.